Hey, welcome back to the channel, you guys. I want to talk about another one of my comparison and remakes. Now, when I talk about my comparison and remakes, I've been noticing I've been getting a few views off that, and I really appreciate those viewing that because I know a lot of stuff's already been oversaturated on YouTube with people talking about movies like this. So this is just my way of doing it, my way, and I'm trying to do it and just it's basically, I know some people's probably done the same thing, but it's just movies that I liked, that I watched, and that's why I'm doing these. All these movies that I talk about, I really like. So with that being said, everybody knows what this one. Most people watch this, but Child's Play, 1988. It was an hour and 27 minutes long. It had a 71% Rotten Tomatoes. 78% people liked the movie. This has got Catherine Hicks and Chris Sarandon and Alex Vincent as the kid, and it's got Brad Dourif as the voice of Chucky. I remember the first time I watched this, they had a doll out at that time. My girlfriend at that time, which is my daughter's mom, we watched that movie together, and I'll never forget when that kid was trying to tell everybody that that doll was making him do stuff and making him go places and stuff like that. And what gets me is I don't think this movie, I think this movie caught on with a following, and I'm one of them, All those other Chuckies that came out, Chucky 1 and 2, I liked that one. But when it got like 4, 5, 6, and 7, I don't know how many's out there. I just didn't get into them that much. So I did watch one of them. I don't know if it was the seventh one. I didn't like The Bride. I didn't watch the rest of them was just, they was just, I really could say I never got into them, but there was one that I did like that was one of those later on Chucky movies, because they made a ton of them. But I love the first one. I always will love the first one. That thing came out in 1988, and I remember the first time when the mom was upset that he couldn't get she couldn't understand why her boy was having all those issues, and the boy kept telling his mom it was the doll, and then she got that doll by herself, and she had that doll in the living room, and she was like, she picked up Chucky, and she kept. I remember the first time I watched this, and I won't hang on long. And she was, Chucky's like, "Hi, I'm your friend to the end," and she kept looking at him, and she said, "You say something to me. You say something to me." And he wouldn't say nothing to her, and then she's like, "Why don't you talk?" Because she just couldn't understand why her boy was having all those issues, because he was trying to tell her that, hey, it's the doll. And so when she was holding Chucky had that look, that Chucky look like, "Hi, I'm your friend to the end," And then when she took him and she started to put him in that fire, "Why you I'll kill you, oh my God, it was filmed so good. And Brad Dourif, man, that his voice for Chucky it was spot on. But when that doll finally started attacking her, and then she started freaking out. And then when she told the cop, which was Chris Sarandon, and his expression on his face, he was like, he couldn't believe it, because when that doll attacked him when he was driving that car, his face when he was in that wreck and that doll took off and ran, it was filmed so good, you guys, it really was. But yeah, obviously I really like this movie. But now when I seen that they was gonna make a Child's Play remake, this was actually a remake. It came out in 2019, and it's 2 hours long, and 64% Rotten Tomatoes, and 67% of people liked the movie. I have to admit, I liked the movie. I really did. Now, was I in love with this movie? No. The first one is by far my favorite, because it just is, because it just is. And I still have fond memories of, when my daughter's mom and I was watching that movie, and her little boy at that time had a doll named My Buddy, I think. And I think he must have seen us watching that because he took that doll and put it up under his bed. That's my daughter's, one of her older brothers, but I remember that. Now, Child's Play 2019, the main leads in that was Gabriel Bateman. That boy, he played as the boy, and then you had Aubrey Plaza play as the mom, and you had Brian Tyree Henry play as the cop. Mark Hamill voiced Chucky, and I thought it was cool. I really did. I thought it was a different take. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I think for me, I think when people go into something, I think they just go into it just too hard and heavy, and I think they just expect too much, man. And I think that's why a lot of people get so disappointed when these movies come out, because I know a lot of people probably really wasn't too happy with, you know, Child's Play 2019. But for me, I thought it was okay because I actually bought it on digital, so it didn't bother me that much. I enjoyed it, but no, I don't think it's great. But I really think that, I don't really think a lot of people thought Child's Play 1988 was great. I just think it got a cult following. You know what I mean? I'm one of them. I just, man, Chucky's just, there again, I graduated in 1978. It just goes to show you from 80s to 80s through the 80s. It just seems like, people making movies were so creative. They came up with so many great ideas. Now you just got remakes and reboots and stuff like that. And there are some things that come out that is like a breath of fresh air, which I'm going to look for some videos that's going to be called movies that I call breath of fresh air, because I'm trying to label them in a way where it's catchy, it fits my personality. But yeah, like I said, Chucky, 1988, 1 hour and 27 minutes long, 71% Rotten Tomatoes, 78% people liked it. Catherine Hicks played the mom, Chris Sheridan played as the cop, Alex Vincent played as the kid, Brad Dourif played as Chucky's the voice. Child's Play, 2019. I like this movie as well. 2 hours long. 64% Rotten Tomatoes, 67% people liked the movie, which I liked it too. Gabriel Bateman played as the kid, Aubrey Plaza played as his mom, and Brian Tyree Henry played as the cop, and Mark Hamill played the voice. And yes, I prefer the 1988, obviously, over the 2019. But this time I could actually say that I like both of them. But my preference is that first one because it's just so different. It's so, it's about a evil presence, jumped into a doll, and this guy wanted to get his life back, so he had to his goal was to, jump into a human person, which is a kid, so he can grow up. And the concept was really cool. So, wow. I remember that, man. When that doll came to life, man, he looked and she was trying to throw him in the fire. He was like, "You son of a boy, you fucking know." He was just like, "Oh, I'll kill you all good." And she was like, she acted so good when they shot that. It was so perfect, man. But 2019 was cool too, man. It was different, but I liked it. And for me, it don't take much to make me happy. I'm not one of those people now. I nitpick and get mad at movies? Yeah, I can, but I just don't. I just don't. It has to be atrociously bad for me to be like, "Oh, this movie sucks," and it's like, "Why?" Because I don't know how to make movies. I really don't. But I have to admit, yeah, I like 1988 more than I like 2019. But I like both movies. I love 1988 because that, my daughter was born in 1990. Man. But Child's Play 2019 was cool as well. So, God bless, take care. We'll catch you next video. We'll see you.